Welcome to the Daily Dish with Leanne Ely. This is a show about you, your life, and the vibrancy you want. Join us for daily motivation, wise women's tips, and more as we collectively gather together and move the needle in our lives, heart, mind, body, and soul. Now, here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
I was just having a little rock out session there. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. It is Soulful Saturday, the end of our week. You know, we will be dark tomorrow. However, we have all kinds of stuff going on, as you know. And if you were a part of this morning's workshop, wasn't that fun? We did a workshop on Take Back Your Life, how to use this journal and how to make it all connect and happen. And it's not too late. You can still get in on this. savingdinner.com/journal will send you the recording of today's 2-hour workshop on how to do this. Look at everybody. Hello, Flynn and Kathy and Doris and Deborah, Helen, Jocelyn's in the house, Carol. Goodness, Julie's here too. I'm so glad to see that. You know, it's Saturday. You know what that means? Hi, June. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Joanne, Patsy, Darla. Look at you all lovelies in a row. Jeanette says hello again because she was just there in our workshop. But, you know, here's our new quote of the week, which I really love. Those who don't believe in magic will never find it. What? There you go. That's how you activate your reticular activating system, y'all. You want to activate it for something you want and really, really want. I believe in magic. Do you believe in magic? Pinky's up if you're a magic believer. I know you are. I know you are. Anyway, I told you about the journal, so you know all about it. There's Teresa. There's Catherine. There's Jennifer. Hello. I'm glad you enjoyed the workshop. Our supplement of the week this week has been digestive enzymes and glycozyme. These two are pretty much needle movers. And if you know anything about me and how important getting off the carousel of crazy with Hashimoto's and a wonky thyroid and everything, one of the things that helped was dialing in my digestion so I could get the nutrition that I needed. That's why we have 2 different digestive enzymes in our shop. Find out all about them because today and tomorrow are the last days to get it. We will be changing everything out on Monday. So savingdinner.com/show. And I'm going to say this too. All the reason that I love these supplements is going to be right there. You're going to read about them and just understand we don't carry a whole lot of supplements. We carry things that move the needle. That's why you're going to see what you see in our shop. Okay. Gracie's in the house. Tanya's here. Wendy's here. Debbie's here. Back for more, she says. I like that so much. Butterflies in the house. There we go. Look, there's Darla and Joanne. Happy day. I'm so glad you're here. Anyway, on Tuesday, which is just a few days away, our first Rising Tide session is in session. There's only 3 of them. And this is for women who've made a decision that they want to go further and deeper with their goals, that not only do they want that, but they want my hands all over their goals so I can help them with this. One of my little things in life was figuring this all out. I'm going to tell you exactly why. I was trying so hard to figure this all out because I was stuck. I couldn't get how to make goals that actually lit me up and made me want to go forward with them. And that's how come I created this out of, a system of different, if you look on our savingdinner.com/journal, you will see an actual photo of all the journals that I purchased and all the journals that I said, this is too hard, too complicated. I can't do it. There's too much ridiculous stuff and I don't have that kind of time. I created the Take Back Your Life journal for women just like us who really want to be involved in our goals, but to do it in a way that it's not going to take over their lives. It's just something that we put in every day. And then when we understand how our brains work and how the psychology of the whole thing works, then all of a sudden we're dialed in and we're noticing things showing up in our lives that need to be showing up in our lives because we are accomplishing our goals. It's just that cool. Okay. So that is something that, I absolutely love. It's something that we're going to be doing in our Rising Tide. There's one-on-one sessions with me. There's hot seats with me. There's 2 hours every Tuesday night for 3 weeks in a row. It's going to rock your world. And I'm going to get all over your goals and take a look at them and really help you out. Because I don't ever want to hear somebody say, I can't. I'm going to hear everybody say, I didn't look at it this way. And now I can. All right. So it's starting savingdinner.com/rising tide. Allison, hello. Good to see you. Diane, I'm glad you're here. Anyway, by the way, anybody who was a part of our workshop last Saturday, and you can still get that, savingdinner.com/vibrant 2022. You can get that. It's all recorded and you can watch it. But there's also something that we always do. We give an incredible swag bag. It's of digital goodies and products. And we also give a code out. Please don't write it out in the comments for 25% off most of the supplements. It's a great deal. But, today's your last day to do it. So if you got that code and you were a part of this whole thing and you want to use it, it's today. And it's time's up. Tick, tick, tick. So make sure you use that. After we are done with the Rising Tide, we go right into the next Tuesday. We fall right into Inner Circle. Inner Circle is our little mastermind of women who are all on the same page. We're going through the carousel of crazy and we're noticing that, there might be other carousel of crazies in our lives and dealing with those in hot seats, on one-on-ones, and all of it. So it's pretty cool, if I do say so myself. And our last Inner Circle, I'll tell you, we had a lot of women in that, and a lot of women are coming back. So that's exciting to me. That means something. That means that they got a lot out of it. So I hope you will make the decision to be a part of Inner Circle. Hey there, Jane. I'm glad you're here. Let's see, what else do I have to tell you? Catherine's in the house too. I noticed that. Joyce is here. So let's go through. What I've written today is just some things that I want you to be aware of. This is the last time that we're talking about goals and doing all of that. This whole month, though, to me has been, this is a month of basically refinement so that we can get into the weeds and really go crazy with our goals. Because this is setting the tone for our year. And while we're not going to be accomplishing everything right away, we can certainly start chunking them down and making them happen in a real sort of way. And I'm going to go through what I have here, which are 7 things that'll really help you to do this and really kind of tighten things up a little bit. If you're doing all of this, should really help a lot. Oh, and the other thing that I wanted to say, so I don't forget, is do you know we're 21 years old? We are 21. It's our birthday. All this month. We started in January of 2020, of 20, am I doing this right? 2001. Yeah, 2001. In January 2001 is when we started. So weird. We started a little bit beforehand, but that's when that's when the website was out. It was menumailer.net at the time. I don't know if anybody remembers any of this, but way back in the day, I wish I had a picture to show you what the old website looked like. It was just, all we had was Menu Mailer. That was it. And then it turned into Dinner Answers. And there's a whole story behind that. But here's the deal. If you want to get on our text message list, that is something that you're going to want to consider because we have special codes, special things that go out to people who are just on the text list. You got to join it first, right? So text the word join to this phone number. Just do it like when you're making a text message, right? And in where you would put somebody's name, you put this phone number, 855-960-3720, and you can be on the list. You'll thank me for that. Believe me, it's so great. All right. So now what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to wrap this whole thing up, tie it in a bow. I'm going to drop kick it into your living room, and hopefully you're going to do something with it, right? Goals are important. Goals are something that again, people have been overwhelmed with, been befuddled with, and just saying, you know, how am I supposed to do that when I've got all of this going on? Well, this is just we've got to have them in order to have our days not look like Groundhog Day every single day. This is how we can live our lives with intention, on purpose, for purpose, and we can actually have a productive life. Nobody wants to have an unproductive life. Nobody. Now, this production, as you know, we're calling it, is really incredibly important because this is how we derive meaning out of life. This is why we understand why we're here. Mm-hmm. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So Andrew Carnegie said this: if you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hopes. And that's pretty much what we've intended to do with the Take Back Your Life journal. So long-term goals, listen, we all know this, they can be completely overwhelming. They can paralyze you. And that's why we break them down to 12-week segments. Even if you have like a big, hairy, audacious goal, that's called a BHAG. Let's say it's something big to accomplish. You want to lose 100 pounds. Can it be done in a year? You betcha by golly, yeah, no problem. It can be done in a year. It can't be done in 12 weeks, but it can be done in a year. You can take that goal, that little piece of that goal, and have that be your intention, an intentional goal that you set for the next 12 weeks. And, you know, long-term goals are very easily forgotten, but not if they're broken down and created into a focus for the next 12 weeks. You see how that works? Isn't that exciting too? Because then we don't have to sit there and think, oh, this is too much. It's too overwhelming. It's too. We've got it already put down in bite-sized pieces. And I don't want you to ever set them and forget them. You know, you want to set it and forget it. That's, you know, your thermostat, but not your life. You don't want to do it on that. We want to get down into the weeds. So how do we do that? Well, the first thing you're going to want to do is a shorter timeline. You have to do a shorter timeline. Now, I read a book. Did I bring it up here? I did. Oh, I brought the workbook up, which was pretty much worthless. But The 12-Week Year. This is a book by Brian Moran, Moran. I loved it because this is to me just made my head explode. Because at the time I would set goals, they wouldn't happen. It was a frustrating process. And Brian Moran showed me that I could get more done in 12 weeks than some people get done in a year, simply by taking and condensing my goals into that 12-week time period. That 12-week time period doesn't mean that, you know, the big thing is going to be accomplished, but it means that the focus is there and the focus on what needs to happen in the next 12 weeks gets accomplished. Doesn't that connect the dots? Jennifer said the whole idea of the intention for your goals is a game changer. Exactly. That's exactly it. Hey, Cornelia, I'm glad you're here. It's true. It's true because it changes your mind. It changes your focus. It changes you from being way over here and puts you back right here where you need to be, so that now you're thinking about it. You know, if you don't think about it, it's out of sight, out of mind, right? So that's how we do that. We give it shorter timelines. We break down the BHAG and we do it 12 weeks at a time. Instead of the 100 pound goal, we are now focused on 25 pounds. Can it be done oh, heck yes. Heck, it can be done. You know, as long as you've got, then that's going to cause you to create some other steps, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. Number 2 is that you write out the benefits of your goals using an I am statement daily. That's what you do. You take that goal, and that goal triggers off triggers the I am statement that you're writing out daily. You learn this in the workshop that we just did, and I'm not here to do the workshop again. I'm giving you ideas, and I'm hopefully going to trigger you to go watch the workshop if you own the Take Back Your Life journal already. You got to own the journal, because the journal is the setup and the framework to get this work done. So it really makes a big, hairy difference, doesn't it? And that is, as you write out this I am statement, remember, I am statements are so powerful. I am statements, using your own name, powerful, because your brain understands that and connects to that. Remember something, this is the whole thing. Mindset stuff that we talk about all the time, because mindset is the indicator. If you've got a good mindset, you're going to succeed on all these different things, because the stuff that comes back, you're going to know how to combat. Because we always have stuff that comes in and says, no, you're not going to do that. Let me disrupt you. Let me interrupt you here and take away all your drive and your motivation and your momentum and everything. It'll happen. If you're a human, yeah, it'll happen. But if you do this, writing out these benefits, you're going to figure it out. Believe me, you will figure it out. It might need to be woven in somehow. You might not be able to have the luxury of saying, I'm going to take this period of time, this area of my life, and do it at this time every day, like I do. Your life could look completely different. However, if you are writing them out in I am statements, you are putting out the intention and you're affirming what it is that you are becoming, right? I shared this with over and over again here about my I am an athlete. And I keep saying to you, I might not look like an athlete, but I am. I can see it in my performance. I can just see it in how I feel when I go up the stairs every day, from the lake. Because we have a big staircase that goes to the lake, and it's like 67 steps or something, and it's all boom, straight uphill. It's not for wimps. When we first started going up and down those, I'd have to stop and go, not anymore. I'm an athlete. I can do those stairs. And when you write out the benefits of the goals daily using I am statements, you're flexing your decision muscles about who you are being, who you are becoming, and that this is important enough to put your prefrontal cortex into the equation. Otherwise, it's just sitting in the back of your mind somewhere. Maybe it'll pop up again, or maybe you'll forget about it. That's why we do this on a daily basis. Number 3 is that we track our progress. How's this done? Well, there's checklists that you can do, because sometimes when you make a goal, that isn't the be all end all. There's all kinds of stuff that needs to go with it. But creating the goal, and hear me on this is important. Creating the goal doesn't mean that you've created the process for it. It just means that you've made a statement about this goal. I am an athlete, joyfully training at the table and in the gym daily. That's one of my goals. I've shared that with you in the workshops. I've shared that with you here. That's written here in my book, and it's going to stay with me, because that's what I'm making my identification into, is this athleticism that I so much want, and there's always a step further to go. I've noticed the progress, and the progress has been on the fact that I created a calendar for this. And I have time set aside every single day for this goal. Every single day. Every single day. It's up to me to show up, but that's part of it. I use that. I use accountability. I have an accountability partner. I found one in my Peloton group, and I show her, I take a snapshot, a screenshot of all the classes that I performed, and then I send it to her through Facebook Messenger daily. She does the same thing with me. That's my accountability. And also in my calendar, I will figure out, is there more time that I need for something? Is there something else that I need to add to the equation? I plan my meals, because that's what athletes do. They plan their meals. I do different things that relate to this goal and hold this goal up. Number 3 is that you track your progress. Well, yeah, I already said, did I just say that? Yeah, track your progress, checklist, accountability, and a calendar. Number 4 is you stack your stuff into the time you have. You know what that means? That means maybe mornings are better for you than evenings. Maybe that means that right there in the middle of the afternoon, that's when, all the toddlers are napping or whatever, that's your best time. In other words, hear me on this. Whatever your situation is, you have the time, maybe not all the time you want, maybe not the ideal time that you want, but the time is there somewhere that tucked into your day. It's up to you to mine it and to figure it out, and it's like panning for gold. How am I going to get that? How am I going to find that? You find it by looking for it. And you figure it out according to what your situation is. I will tell you, for me, mornings are the best. My morning is stacked up with all kinds of stuff. I love it because, and you know, I can tell you the dream team knows they're putting all these messages and they're not hearing from me. They don't hear from me until usually right before or right after the show. And because I have a whole mess of stuff that I'm getting done in the morning, personal, professionally, all my goals. I'm working on the stuff that's part of my goals, and I'm staying the course. For the most part, I'm staying pretty good. I'm doing it excellently, not perfectly, but it makes me feel good. And it brings in the momentum that I need for the rest of the day to get these things done and to do the things that I need to do. So I plan my to-dos in the time allotted that I have to get them done. Does that mean that you're going to do it the same way that I do it? I'm going to doubt. No, I'm going to say no, because chances are you've got a job that you need to show up for. Chances are you've got somebody that you're taking care of, and it doesn't. And mornings are stacked up. Your mornings with your child or your elderly parent are ridiculous. So it's not a matter of what I'm doing. It's a matter of what you need to do and when you have the best time to do it. And even that can be tenuous. But that's what we do, is that we are constantly evaluating and constantly looking for the time and stacking it up and using our time as the precious resource that it is. When we don't, we waste time, and time just goes away. And then the next thing you know, we're at the end of the day saying, well, that was a bust. You know, today didn't work out really well. So that's why we do it the way that we do it. And I like to say, and I've said this to a lot of my coaching clients, but you know, if we act like our pants are on fire and that the most important thing that we do is to figure this stuff out, we do. We do. We don't say we can't. We don't say it's overwhelming. We don't say, well, because of this, I cannot. We say, this is the reality of my life. And somehow I'm going to figure out where to tuck all these things in, because I need to figure this out. It's yours to figure out. Does this mean bringing in somebody you need, hiring something done, or brainstorming with another person? Or I don't know what it means. But if there's something that you're stuck on, there's something that you're stuck on, but it doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. It just means it's entirely figure outable. Okay? So that's how we do it. And we break it down and we bake it in, is what we do. We break it down and we break it in, because it's a reverse engineering problem, is what it is. Here's my goal. If you want to lose 100 pounds, you don't just do it doing the best that you can every day. I'm doing the best I can every day. No plan, no goal, no, you're not looking at the things. What are the metrics for this particular goal? Well, the metrics are, as you well know, your goals. Is your sleep dialed in? Is your hydration dialed in? What about your food? Do you have a plan for your food for the week? What about your exercise and your movement? All of these things make they all play into, and they add and reinforce your goal. That's how you bake it in. Every day you're doing something about it. So you make a to-do list. I need to do all these things. And then you put it in and you schedule it. I need to schedule this stuff. And then you do it. And then you do shampoo, rinse, repeat, shampoo, rinse, repeat. And at the end of 12 days, you're looking at a goal accomplished. That's how this whole thing works. That's the easy part. That is the easy part, to see the whole engineering, to see the architecture of how this goal works and how it's all broken down and how it fits in. Isn't that exciting though? Because now we can see, yeah, this is definitely something I can get done. And number 6 is that we stay the course by creating accountability. Find your tribe is the whole deal. Here's a couple of things. One, we have one built in for you in the Hot Melt Mix, the Hot Melt Sprint group. It's there. You need somebody, put a little note out there, post out there and say, you know what, I need an accountability partner. We call them body clutter buddies if we go a step further. You can do it. This is how this whole thing works. You start big. I need a community. Okay, here's your community. Here's your like-minded people. When you say pinkies up or do something, they all are going to speak the same language and do the same thing because we all know. When you say that I had a really successful sprint, they're not going to know what you're talking about. Being around like-minded people, absolutely the best. And it makes you feel like you belong because you do. You speak the same language. You're talking about the same thing. You have the same objectives. This is important. So there's that. And then, of course, there's also, I want to really make sure that this happens. So what do? You find an accountability partner. You say, I need a body clutter buddy. You put a post out there and you say, I want this to happen for me. Okay. If you want this to happen for you, if this is what it is that you want to have happen, then that body clutter buddy is going to be the one who's going to be able to sit with you and have time with you to encourage you, and you do the same for your body clutter buddy. You know what the studies tell us? The studies tell us that if we're doing something in community, we are more likely to succeed. If we're doing something with a one-on-one accountability, we're more likely to show up and to do this. But if we take it to the third step, which is schedule actual accountability meetings with our accountability partner. We meet every other Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we say, okay, so tell me how it went. Get on Zoom, get on, whatever, or FaceTime each other, whatever. How did it go? What was your stumbling place? What did you learn from this whole time? Then the studies show us, and get this, buckle up. The research shows us that people who do this with an accountability partner are 95% more likely to hit their goals than those who don't. And they were talking about weight loss, but yeah, it's pretty substantial if you are in it that much. If you're in it that much, that's how you stay the course. You stay the course because you're with the people who know exactly what it is you're doing. You stay the course because you're with a body clutter buddy who you're checking in with. You stay the course even more so and really create an actual doable plan because, one, you've got your body clutter buddy who's going to be contributing to that idea. Well, maybe you should try this. Oh my gosh, what a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? Two minds are better than one when it comes to those kind of things. And when you're doing those accountability meetings, you're not showing up with a bunch of excuses, Remember last week's whole thing? Remember last week? The walls of your comfort zone are lovingly decorated with the lifelong collection of favorite excuses. You've moved. You've moved. You've moved to a place where you're now believing in the magic. You see the difference? You believe in magic because you're making it. You're making your own magic. You're not waiting for Sunday school. You're attending right now. You're in Take It Back school. You're taking back everything that you want in your life and you're figuring it out and you're fitting it in where you can. That's what you're about. You're about possibilities, not limitations. There's a big shift to that whole thing. So the last one I will say is that you start to visualize it as well. When we can attach to a goal the emotion that we feel about something, then we're halfway there. We're there because now we're saying, I want this so much I can feel it. I want this so much I can cry over it. I want this so much, and I'm looking at it not from, oh, but I can't have it. You need to look at it the way you need to look at it. You need to look at it from the perspective of this house is what I want on a lake with a dock and a boat. I've shared that 350 times. I have, because that's all I could think about. That's all I wanted. And when I say it's all I could think about, I had my mind every day. I thought about it. I woke up and I thought about it. I closed my eyes and thought about it and thought about the visual that I had on my vibrant vision board. Just thought about it, which is, remember, a representation of what you want, not exactly. It very rarely is exactly what you get. It's a representation. Every day I did that. And then when I went to bed at night, I'd find myself, my mind would just want to go everywhere. And I trained myself to say, no, when I go to sleep at night, I'm going to think about that visual of what was on my vibrant vision board. First thing I woke up with was thinking about that. When I went to bed, I was thinking about it. Have you noticed that I haven't talked once about how? Not once. Because I didn't know how. I had no idea how. I just needed to know what. And I needed to know kind of what it looked like, sort of. I also needed to feel it. I needed to be about it. Nothing's impossible when you have that kind of a situation built up. Nothing. So 12 weeks from today, it will be April 15th and your taxes will be due. Everybody has that written down, right? You've got a plan for that, don't you? You're going to get your taxes done with the CPA or get it from, do the TurboTax. But that's a deadline. That is a deadline. 12 weeks from today, on that deadline, as you're filling out your, sending your taxes in or making sure that you get the stamp at the postage, at the post office, you could also be going in there a completely different person. You could have shifted everything and in 12 weeks gotten a lot of these things done simply by creating goals that you're in every single day. That's what the Take Back Your Life journal does. And it's available. We still have some available. You can find them at savingdinner.com/journal. And I would also say, if you want to go a real step further and you really want to get into it, then join our intensive. That's all I can think of to call it. It's the rising tide. The rising tide lifts all boats. And this is a small group of women who for the next 3 weeks are going to go deep into their goals and really get them straightened out. We get muddled in our thinking, and it's really helpful to have somebody else look at it and go, have you thought of this? Maybe I can help you with that. Or let's put some time constraints on it. If you wrote it out this way, that would help. That's where I come in, and that's what I'm doing with every single one of our ladies who are going to be involved in the Rising Tide. It starts this Tuesday. savingdinner.com/rising tide if you want to find out about it. I just say to you that, you know what? It's time for you. If you've never made goals before, now's the time to make them. Right now, this month, setting up what your whole life is going to be looking like for the next 12 weeks. And then from there, you build from there. Then we do the next 12 weeks again. And then we do the next 12 weeks. And can you imagine what it's going to be like when here it is, January 15th, 2023, you can be a completely different person, completely different. If we're going to live our lives on purpose and for purpose, it's up to us to make that happen. That's the call. And all I'm asking you, are you going to answer it? Like I said in the last email about this, pick up the phone. Your life is calling. Thanks for joining me today. That was it for us for this whole goal week and weekend and what have you. Next week, we'll be on to something completely different. I really appreciate the fact that you show up. If you want to share this, of course you can. Of course you can. We always have people saying, hey, is it okay if I share this? You can share the heck out of anything. I appreciate it when you do. And I also appreciate the fact that you do show up and that you are participating in these programs and you are becoming the very best that you can be. Remember, your life is going to have a ripple effect to everyone around you who you touch. It's a big responsibility, but that's part of the calling and that's part of our purpose. I'm so glad that, like I said, you're a part of this. Don't forget to get our newsletter. Just go to savingdinner.com, fill out the little form that pops up, and you'll get show notes every single day. We put those out, so you'll make sure you'll have show notes that'll help you out with anything that you need help with. Don't forget, next Friday, we're going to do Q&A, so send your questions into support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday goes right there in the subject line, and I think we're good to go. I think I gave you all the announcements. We're dark tomorrow, but we'll be back for Monday, for Motivational Monday, so be with us then, will you? Hope to see you then. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Check back for new episodes. If you missed the live show, you can always watch the replay. You can find Saving Dinner on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Until next time, pinkies up.